Nancy Pereira, and I'm a senior analyst in the training support team. That's part of the academic and training team, which Katie, you want to do your introduction?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Catherine Nabat, or Katie Nabat, as I'm normally called, and I am the elementary technology consultant and part of Nancy's team as a bigger whole. But I am part of the academic portion, which means that I am also a teacher. So I'm in this role for a couple of years, and then back into the classroom.
And then joining us today is Emily, our district e-learning coordinator, and she's also part of our academic and training team. She is our guru. She knows everything about the VLE, right, Emily?
I don't know if I would say everything, but thank you for that, Nancy. As Nancy mentioned, my name is Emily Vollins, and I am in business and learning technologies, and my title is district e-learning coordinator. So I support the back end of the VLE.
Perfect. So now we'll just continue on since it is a lunch and learn, so we don't have too much time. So I'm just going to go through the agenda really quickly. And I'm just going to kind of go really quickly over how you access the e-learning or VLE virtual learning environment, and then the educator homepage, what you can find on there. And then I'm going to show you after you navigate to your course where you can find these Creator Plus features, and then editing your content with Creator Plus, which Katie will show a little bit more on that one as well. All right. So again, how you get to the VLE is through the staff portal. You do your sign in with your username and password. You can also, you'll have a copy of this slide deck as well. So you'll have a link that you can bookmark so that you have a direct access to logging into the VLE, so you don't have to go through the staff portal. And what you can find on your educator homepage is your VLE resources. That's where you're going to find all the docs and tutorials and videos for all the tools that we have in the VLE. And then you have your self-registration button, which basically you can register for a master previewer of any of the ministry courses or student experiences. So all digital content is housed there. And then again, student experiences, we gave you a direct access just in case you just want to do just a student experience as a blended learning for your classroom, or even in your online classroom as well. And this is, again, it's another tool that you can use that OCDSB teachers have created it for the OCDSB teachers. So it's really good stuff in there. And I always recommend to peruse some of the things, and you might be interested in some of them. So just a quick overview. I'm going to show you how you can find the Creator Plus. There's the insert practice and insert elements, as well as the creator templates. These are HTML templates that you can use. You don't need to know anything about coding or anything because it's all done for you. And it's really awesome that you can use these and create your own subject or your own course, or you can even integrate it within other digital content that you have. So the insert practice. So these are the different insert practices that I'll show you how you get to. And this slide deck shows you what you could use them for. So there's little features that are pretty awesome to use. And then you have the element. Again, it's going to give you a little blurb on how you can use them or where would you like to use them for. And then, and I'll also go over this little note-to-note thing, where some of the things you can use with ministry content and some things you cannot, but you can still add it to your course. So just to make clear as mud, I'm going to show you instead so that it's easier to understand. So I'm already in my educator homepage. Again, this is where I've showed you where the VLE resources, self-registration, student experiences are here. So I'm going to go to my course, and I'm going to go into my course. I have a sandbox because I don't actually have a course. And I'm going to go into my content. And then here you would select the area where you want to insert your practice. So practice is basically kind of instant feedback for students. There is no, it won't record any marks or anything. So like if they're reading a topic or a unit and you want to do a quick true or false question or a multiple choice question just to see, for them to follow along and see if their understanding of the actual topic is on par with what they're learning, then you can add one of those in. So let's say if I want to go to my Unit 1 in my ministry content. So I have ministry content downloaded into my course. So in here, we're going to say, let's say after activity 1, I want to add something in there. I could go ahead and do that. And the way to find them is you will go to your 3 dots. You're going to select edit. So this is for only insert practices. Insert practices, oh, sorry, wrong one. Practices can be used with ministry content in the editing windows or with students' experiences, okay? Their HTML is not really big coding in it, so it can be integrated with the ministry content. There is no issues there. Elements will have an issue, but I'll show you how you can work around it. So if we scroll down, whenever you have ministry content, let me just minimize this one. You will have a little spot here that says edit content here. This is where you would go to edit any content with ministry content, providing that they have this option. If they don't, you can just directly go right into the unit or topic and edit in there. So from here, I'm just going to go to my Unit 1, and then I'm going to go to my Activity 1 because I want to add something to it. So here, I have my options where I want to add it. So they have a little option to read things, and I already have inserted a true or false question. So to show you how to do this, you go to your Create New, HTML document, and then in here you're going to find the little plus insert options, which is a plus sign and a little drop down arrow, and select that. And that's where you're going to find your insert elements and practice. So I'll just say I'm going to insert a practice. Let's say I want to do sequencing, and then you just fill it out. Okay. But I'll show you what happens when you want to try to insert an element. So if I go again to my plus sign and then insert element instead, let's say I want to do an accordion or tab, any of these ones would work out. So I'll just do accordion. And then you always give it an instruction. So I'll just leave it as it. Enter a title. I'll put title, and then you can add your content. And then again, here's another one. Title 2. Oops. Come on, let me in. Title 2. This is an example. And then I go to preview. I like that and I wanted to insert it. And then once I go to save and close, it should say no, it won't do it. Oh. Actually, Emily, I guess they are now allowing it. Oh no, see, it drops it into as a separate topic. Yeah. It's not actually going in to the activity itself.
Yeah.
Because actually,
sorry, Nancy. Just to clarify, if you're working in ministry content, you can't put it in directly into a page created with the coding from the ministry content, because it mucks with the CSS in there and it will give you the error. But if you create a new page within, so the elements will have to be on a separate page, then it will let you do it.
Yeah. So that's what it did. It automatically bumped it out and put it into a separate page here. So it's on here, untitled. So that's one of the things you have to look out for, is that it will either it has given me an error message. Maybe they've updated it and it just bumps it right out. So yeah, it'll either bump it out or give you an error message. And you also, you can't put a creator template in here as well, because it will delete everything. So I'll just give you a quick example. So if I wanted to do my activity 1, and then I go to create new HTML document. Actually, sorry, no. I'll just go back one here. Oh, too far. Oh no. Okay. So if I want to go to edit, and then I want to select a template, and then you go browse for a template, select public files, and then you'll go click on creator templates. And so let's say I want to do a basic template. Oops, I always do that. Do not click on that. Always click on the little checkbox and then click add. And then you get your little pop-out window that says like everything it will delete everything that's there. So I'll show you how it looks. So basically it deletes everything and then it puts your HTML template from Creator Plus. So you don't want to do that with your ministry content. You just have to create a new page for that. So I'll just say cancel. And then that way it still keeps everything intact. So just got to keep in mind that the practices will be integrated into it. Elements and templates will not be. So that has to be a separate topic or item in here, like a separate page, as Emily said. But it's pretty easy to find. It's the 3 dots, click edit, and you can find them within the little plus sign, drop down, or select templates. It's all on the slide deck. All the instructions are there. If you have any questions, we can always email vle.support on how to do some of these items. But I'll let Katie take over now to show some examples that some of these ones can be used for.
Okay, so I'm just sharing my screen here, and in my sandbox, I've created some examples of when you could use the practice or the elements. In doing this sort of activity and getting this all prepared for you, I was sort of wrapping my brain around what's the difference between a practice and an element. So a practice would be something within your content where they have to interact with it. So it would be, well, they would all be interactive, but a practice would be more like a check-in or an exit card, that type of thing, something where they have to answer a question. And then the element is just, it could be something that they interact with, or it could be a way that something looks to make it look a little bit different from the rest of the content. So to make it look a little bit different and give attention to it. So I'm going to go in and show you some examples of the practices and the elements. So let's go into the practice first. I'm going to bump this out just so we can see it a little bit better. Okay, and then these are all the types of practice that we could use. So we have an example of each. So the drop down, fill in the blanks. This is something that you can create with Creator Plus, and then the students would just go in and select the answer that they think is appropriate, click check answers, and then it's going to tell them if they're right or wrong. We have fill in the blanks option, multi-select. So this one would be like check boxes. Multiple choice is just one box. Of course, I'm getting them all wrong. Sequencing is really nice because you're moving things around and trying to decide the order of things. So you're just selecting the description and moving them in the correct order. And they're all wrong. Sorting is a fun one because there's a little bit more interaction with it, where you're moving the things up into the correct box. And of course, true and false questions as well. And then if we go into the elements section, and I'll bump that out. These are the types of elements that you have access to. Accordion is really nice. They need to click and then they can read more about whatever topic it is that you want them to read about. And they can close it. And tabs, just comparing an image, but you could put an image in there, you could put content in there, whatever you like. Click and reveal would be something within the button. So when you click on the button, it would reveal something. So it might be an explanation, a little bit more about something that you've written about above. Call out just creates this little box, just sort of one of those things you want to highlight within your content. So you want to really call it out or draw attention to it. You can create a nice timeline. This one would not be interactive like the sorting one or the sequencing. It's just sort of written down and they don't have any interactions with it. So if you want them to have the interaction with it, you would do the practice instead. A stylized quote would look something like this. So again, it's just making the content look a little bit different so that it's not just sort of all written in paragraph form. And flip cards are kind of fun. You just click on it and it will flip them over. So basically what Creator Plus has done is created these options for choosing these different types of interactions or ways that students can read content or interact with content so that it makes things a little bit more exciting or interesting as the student is learning along. So Creator Plus, typically in the past, you would have to create that with HTML coding, but we don't have to do that now because Creator Plus has given us the opportunity to create these nice little things that we can add into your content without having to know how to do HTML coding.
We have the tutorial doc already done for this, so that will be available on the in the VLE as well. It's going to be in our VLE resources as well, and you can also check it out Brightspace community because they'll have some stuff on it as well too. And if you need any help, it's vle.support@ocdsb.ca, and we can help you out with anything.